If everyone would please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance for the flag and remain standing for the invocation. Ready to begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our thought for the evening, Mother Teresa, I know God will not give me anything I can't handle. I just wish that He didn't trust me so much. Let's pray. Most gracious Father, we thank you tonight for the opportunity to serve our community. We pray your blessings on this meeting. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you, Mary. Could we have roll call, please?
Councilman McDonald?
Here.
Graham?
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Candia?
Here.
Day?
Here.
Mayor Martino?
Here. Declaration of conflict of interest?
None.
There being none tonight. Ceremonial matters? There's none tonight. We'll move on to item 7. Items from the public. These are non-agenda items. Anybody would like to speak to the council, please go to the podium, state your name and address for the record, and we'll...
It would be better for you to speak at the time the item is being considered on the agenda.
But if you'd like...
We're going to talk about that.
Yeah. But you're more than welcome to get
You're
up.
more than welcome to go ahead if you want.
You'll have plenty of time to say whatever you want, sir.
Whatever you want to do. Go ahead.
Okay, my name is Ronald Clark. I live at 27701 Highway 33, which is in the area that's designated to be commercial. Okay. I'm concerned that there's a lot of confusion as to why the people living there are opposing the annexation process, and I'd like to explain a few things about that. Basically, there are numerous reasons why people are living there instead of in the city, and I'll just mention a couple. Many people have farm animals, and there's been a lot of discussion in the last few weeks about the status of animals. I'm talking about farm animals. We also, some of us at least, have some opportunities for income. In my case, we have 10 acres of walnut trees, and this will be impacted by becoming part of the city. Okay, others are there for low cost housing, etc. And many of us just like the more relaxed atmosphere in the county instead of in the city. For instance, I've lived in areas of city, with tract homes and all that sort of thing, and I really don't like to be in that kind of environment. I prefer the other. At the time we purchased the property, which was the year 2000, there was a farm right across the street from us, and now it's wall-to-wall houses. I could have purchased something like that, prefer to live where I'm at. Okay, so I'm not real comfortable with the idea of contracting into smaller areas. Okay. For those of us that are farming, my trees, there is a problem of water rights, which we will lose our Tier 1 water rights and reduce to Tier 3. And I guess if we follow everybody's current regulations, there's nothing seems to be that we can do about that. Okay, so immediately the cost of my water will triple, and that'll end up costing me about $1,200 a year. That's a significant amount of money for those of us that are retired. For some of the people are just wanting to continue living there, and that's not a problem for most of them. I know that there is a need for development in the area, and there is pressure on you, I believe, in order to annex land for residential development. And I'm not opposed to that. However, and people are already buying up the bigger chunks of land in this and the next phase or so of the place. For those of us that are in the commercial areas, we have a different problem. There is, as far as I can see, no immediate need for commercial development right now. The town has a number of stores that are not utilized to their capacity, and the addition of even a property the size of mine, as opposed to the 3 or 4 properties that are equivalent, there is no immediate pressure to do that. Back in 2007, and before that, a number of people dropped by, inquired, wanting to possibly purchase the property, but none of them were really serious at that time. They were more speculators hoping that they could flip it, and I was not interested in that sort of thing. At the present time, since 2007, not one person has approached me, even as a speculator, to try to do that. And looking around in the community, I believe that there are plenty of unoccupied or poorly occupied stores that can be utilized. And on top of that, another factor against us is the big development in Patterson, which is within what would be considered a commercial area of influence, has already developed. And the patterns that people are using right now, Amazon has totally changed the need for small mom and pop type operations. And Walmart does a lot of the rest. And I guess that and the fact that there's no pressure for commercial development. And in fact, I've even been surprised that we haven't had opposition from the local Chamber of Commerce, because anything we built, in my opinion, would detract from the downtown area at the present time. Now, I'm not saying it won't ever be that way, because it will. And if you look around in the bigger cities, the problems that you run into is that they buy out a big farm, like across the street from me, and they always designate a big area for commercial development besides all the hundreds of houses that they put in. But that development doesn't get there until the population density is. We don't have the population density here yet to justify commercial development. Okay, meantime, I'm going to have to extra expenses to live there. And I'm not certain what the latest version says. Mr. Holland just gave me the latest version of your plan a few minutes ago, and I haven't had a chance to read it all. But I know you have made a number of concessions, and I'm not certain, since I haven't read the whole thing yet, if I agree with all of them, but I know you have made some concessions that makes things a little easier on us. So those are my worries. So what I would prefer to see happen is a little more time spent and make sure that the people that have, or even some that may want to have horses and chickens and that sort of thing in that area. I know that's against the current city rules, but all cities have those things, and some parts of them, at least all big cities do. And it seems to me that some better way of accommodating it. One of the problems economically for me, as soon as I become annexed, the only one that's going to want that piece of property, if I should have to need to sell, is going to be a developer. Developers are not going to spend lots of money for long-range investments. Okay. And like I said, there's no immediate pressure from them to consider that. Okay. So basically, I have no objection to your ultimately proceeding, but I want to, I'd like to see it delayed for a while. So that, or some modifications to the regulations. Like for example, the horses. I'm not interested in horses on my property, but I know there are some. And they don't always have them right now. But according to the rules, as I understand them, you can't add new animals in the future because it will be against the city regulations. And so basically, there are numerous reasons why you're getting opposition from those of us living there. And I think the best thing is a little bit longer delay in doing it. It seems to me we should be able to reach an appropriate compromise where you can get what you need without imposing hardships onto those people that are living there now or in the near future. Okay. I think that's the extent of what I have for the moment. And I know your interest tonight is figuring out how to get this vote in place. But anyway, I hope you'll take some consideration of the problems that we're facing, which can be fairly significant economic possibilities. Infrastructure's got to be put in once you annex at some rate, and your rules, those are the ones that have been changed somewhat since I last saw the document. And I can't tell you right now, since I just received the document 10 minutes ago. I don't know whether I totally agree with them or not, but I do appreciate at least what you have done so far. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so
And we
much.
appreciate your concerns.
Thank
you. Thank you. We appreciate your concerns. Anybody else?
Okay, is there anyone else that would like to speak to the council at this time? If not, we're going to move on to item 8, which is consent calendar. A, adopt resolution number 2020, next number, a resolution of the City of Newman City Council calling for a special mail ballot election on August 25th, 2020, on the qualified voters residing in the Northwest Territory proposed for annexation. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm only one down. I'm down.
That's all right.
Consent calendar, we're going back, okay. Just take that off. A, waive all readings of ordinance and resolutions set by title. B, approval of warrants. C, approval of minutes of the February 11th, 2020 meeting. D, adopt resolution number 2020, X number, establishing a non-refundable processing fee for a sidewalk vendor permit. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Make a motion, we accept the calendar as is.
I'll second that.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried, 5-0. Next is 9, public hearing. There is none tonight. Move on to item 10, which you're going to hear a second time. A, adopt resolution number 2020, next number, resolution of the City of Newman City Council calling for a special mailed ballot election on August 25th, 2020, on the qualified voters residing in the Northwest Territory proposed for annexation to the City of Newman, and requesting that Stanislaus County Board of Supervisors to permit the Stanislaus County Clerk to render specific services to the City of Newman related to the conduct of the special election.
Thank you, Mayor. As we spoke at our last meeting, we have two options moving forward. We can do a mail-in ballot for the Northwest Newman territory, or we can go to with the general election. So, and that's all based upon the fact that, we did submit our application to LAFCO, our LAFCO annexation for annexation. They approved that in October, and then we had a protest hearing in December 2019. Again, LAFCO, oversaw that process and ruled that there was more than 25%, but less than 50% of the registered voters at the time we had submitted our application in the area. That came out to be less than 50%, so now we are, by law, required to submit this to the voters. The ballot information has been submitted. It's in your reso, and the wording for the ballot has been drafted by LAFCO, so these are not things that the city has actually done, but LAFCO is the lead agency on these things. So again, we're here tonight because we have to call an election, and as we discussed before, there's two options moving forward. There's a mail-in ballot that's on a set date. That set date is August 25th. That is set by the state as the official mail-in ballot date. And then in the second option would be in November of that's along with the presidential election would go in there. Due to this is not a full precinct, there's limited number of people, it doesn't really fall within any particular boundary, they're not in the city. It was our recommendation that we do the mail-in ballot. We thought it would be cleaner and easier for the residents. It ensures that they get the correct ballot. This would be the only item on the ballot. It'll be a simple yes, no vote moving forward, and the side that gets the most votes, the yes or the no's, will prevail and go forward from there. So before you today, we had been working with Donna Linder from Stanislaus County, who is the election officer. She did get us an cost estimate for that, and I put that in front of you today. The cost estimate is between $80 and $100 roughly per ballot. So you're going to look around anywhere from $4,000 to $5,500, $6,000, which will come out of our general fund, and we'll move forward with that if you choose to move forward on the August 25th, 2020 mail-in ballot procedure. So with that, we have put in a resolution for you to adopt that would, one, call for a mail-in ballot election on August 25th, and then it would request that the Stanislaus County Board of Supervisors permit the Stanislaus County Clerk to render specific services to the City of Newman relating to the conduct of that special election. So we would be out of the process entirely. This would be entirely run by the county at that particular point in time. We will be coming back to you with another resolution that talks about arguments in support and against, and rebuttals in support and against the the measure itself. We'll come back to you probably in March or April. Unfortunately, the county is so busy working on the March 3rd election, they didn't have time to give us the dates for that. We ran ours backward. It's an E111, which means the election minus 111 dates. So we anticipate that those are going to be due, what do we say, about April, late April? Yeah, mid-April, so probably, hopefully in the second meeting in March and/or the first meeting in April, that resolution will be in front of you. I know our county council is working with the county elections officer to secure those dates and make sure that whatever we put, give them adequate time to make sure that they're doing their job and getting it on the ballot, so. So again, so tonight, really all we're looking at doing today is, what's before you is a resolution that would call for the election, a mail-in ballot election on August 25th. Again, if you look inside the resolution itself, on item number 5, the wording for the ballot measure is actually in it, and so there's no confusion on there. So I can answer any of your questions. I know our legal counsel has been briefed on this matter as well, and she can answer any questions that you may have. So with that, I'll turn that back to the council.
Okay, is there any questions from the council?
Yeah, will these notices be sent well in advance so that if they need to maybe have some more information in reference to the annexing?
Yeah, so with respect to the arguments, we'll post a notice in the newspaper by law, setting what those dates are and when they're due. And then we'll continue to have probably public information meetings. If anyone has any questions about the annexation, they can come in. We'll probably have another meeting or two on that to answer any questions that people may have. And let them know that, your taxes are not going up. You're not required to move out of your house. So, there's some information out there. We just want to make sure that people understand fully. They can keep their animals. That's something that's in there. They are exempt from any of the extension of utility lines or stuff like that's in there as well. So we'll answer any of those questions that people may have.
Unfortunately, it appears that there's been a lot of misinformation sent out, so. I'd like to move then that we adopt resolution number 2020 next in number, a resolution of the City of Newman City Council calling for a special mailed
Okay.
ballot election.
Some of the public wanted to talk about
It's a
it.
public comment on the issue.
Yeah, what I was going to do,
Public hearing.
but I was going to do it, obviously, because it is an important subject, I was going to open up to the public for comment.
That's
cut you
at
off.
the council's discretion.
Please, anyone that would like to speak to the subject, please go to the podium, state your name and address for the record. Give it to you.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Sherry Marsigli, 820 North Avenue in Gustine. I am a property owner in the annexation area. In January, it was I swear it was the 14th, but it was maybe within a couple days of the 14th, I received a letter from LAFCO with the results of the protest hearing, and the results stated that there were 55 registered voters in the area. So I procured the list and researched it and found 16 people that don't exist, that are on the registered voter list. That literally, one of them is my cousin who moved in 1990 to Merced County, got married, and has been a registered voter in Merced County since 1990, is still considered a registered voter in the annexation area. There is one instance where there's actually 2 people registered to vote where there's no home. I personally know at least 4 other people.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but we just need to keep public comment on this germane to the item being considered, and right now that's just the method of this election that the city has been ordered to hold. Any issue regarding what happened with the protest is not relevant to the item being considered.
Okay, well, I just want the council to know that we had 60% that protested, and as far as we're concerned, we beat it. And if they don't clean up that list, it's not going to be good.
Ms. Marsigli, could I ask a question? You are a resident of Gustine, is that correct?
Property owner.
And you are a registered voter in Gustine? But you're a property owner in Newman? But you're not a registered voter in Newman? Okay, just wanted to clarify that.
Okay, with that, is there anyone else who would like to speak to this subject before I bring it back to the council for direction? If not, I'm going to bring it back to the council for direction.
Now, may I? I'd like to propose that we adopt Resolution 2020, a resolution of the City of Newman City Council calling for a special mailed ballot election on August 25, 2020 of the qualified voters residing in the Northwest Territory proposed for annexation to the City of Newman and requesting the Stanislaus County Board of Supervisors to permit the Stanislaus County Clerk to render specific services to the City of Newman relating to the conduct of the special election.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried 5-0. Thank you. And now we'll move on to item 11, and items from Mr. Jim D. Martini, our District 5 Stanislaus County Supervisor.
Good evening, I'm Mayor Martina. I'd like to clear up something that from last time when I was talking about bulky item pickup. I actually tried to track down, really how it worked out in this area. CEO staff said the whole county was included, but as I went to environmental resources, we found out, which was to our surprise, that Newman and Turlock are not included in the curbside pickup. Apparently you have a drop-off place twice a year somewhere, and I know Turlock does. I talked to somebody who actually does it that way. These are the only cities in the county that doesn't have that, and all the rest of them do. So I was wrong when I said it was bulk pickup at your house. Although I did talk to the department head in environmental resources, she said if there was some change in the contract with the hauler, you could have it here in this city too. It's not a contract with the county, but with the hauler. The cost of it, I asked today, I couldn't get it right down to the cent, but it's about $1 a month is what it costs for the bulk item pickup. In the county unincorporated areas, everybody has it. So anyway, sorry for the misinformation on that. I was sure I was right on that. In fact, it took a week before I found out that it wasn't true. I had to go around. So anyway, the clarification is that Newman and Turlock do not have, bulk item pickup at their door, but they have a collection place. Everybody else has it. And I remember when this passed the board, I just did not remember that Newman was not part of it. And nobody was able to tell me why. But the cost is only about $1 a month. So, it'd be $12 a year, something like that. Included in your garbage pickup. So that might be, if, people are interested in it, I think that might be worth looking at. The problem, with this in the comments that we get is not everybody has a pickup. And so if you've got a couch or chair or furniture, something, large that even hauling it to a free site twice a year, may not be possible for a lot of people. Where if it was the hauler came right to their house, it would take an appointment and you have to set up ahead of time. It'd be a lot easier for some people. So anyway, sorry about that. I was wrong on that, so I have a pretty good track record, but that one, I missed that one there, so I'm sorry about that. Okay, as far as the Bonita Pool, the county did receive a grant for roughly almost $700,000. We're still waiting for some paperwork from the state. I contacted the Parks Department yesterday, and they got back to me this morning that they're still waiting for something from the state. So once we get that, which they expect to be fairly soon, they will open up the bid process looking for contractors who are going to do the work. The project is fully funded, and the plans for the park are mostly or almost completely done because we had to submit these plans to the state for approval. So basically, what she's not talking about any more design work that has to be done, although there might be a little. Then we're ready to go out to bid, so we'll get that park in sometime this year. Just takes forever to get anything done. But it's moving along, government speed. It's not as bad as our Crow's Landing Air Base, so that's been dragging on for a decade, but we will be able to get that park in. And it's really be a real nice thing for Crow's Landing to have that, and it includes a swimming pool too, which I know you don't have your pool anymore, so that would at least give people around here a closer place to go to than Patterson for a pool. Anyway, as far as the Healthcare Task Force, its next meeting will be here in Newman on March 5th at your community meeting room, 6 o'clock. The agendas will be going out tomorrow. We're having our Director of Behavioral Health there at the meeting, and we're trying to come up with a program for a mental health program too for the West Side, specifically for the West Side. So the department head will be there, and we're going to try and work out what's realistic to provide for this area, because mental health is part of health too, and it's just that we have not done anything as a task force in that area yet, so we're looking at that as something new to do. We still have all our other programs, the West Side Walk, the Art and Essay Contest, Health Summit, Biggest Loser Contest, and so we're moving ahead with that. The Health Summit, as you know, will be here in Newman on May 28th. The final plans for that event will be discussed at the next meeting, and I think we're almost there. If Newman could do anything, you might want to put together a team for the contest there. Patterson's already done it, so I don't know where Gustine is on that, but you don't have to be a city or actually even an organized group to have a team. You could have just friends or a business or something that wants to have a team for the Biggest Loser contest. Everyone's welcome. There's no charge for it, of course. We don't give away big prizes for it, but we give away T-shirts, real nice ones though, for the winning team. The team would consist of anywhere between 5 and 10. So it could be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10. And you will have to have a team captain, which is just somebody who we can contact with to be sure everything's okay. That person does not actually have to be one of the contestants. It's just somebody who kind of ramrods the group, and so we can contact. And that's about all I have. There's really nothing much else going on for road construction or anything that's changed. Nothing's timeline for the air base is nothing's changed, and so that's all I have tonight.
I have, no, go ahead. Okay. Quick question, and I'm not trying to be sarcastic, but tell Mrs. DiMartino, or maybe speak with her, see if we can delay your retirement until we do the groundbreaking for the Crow's Landing project.
I'll see what we can do on that groundbreaking. I know there is going to be one there, so I always wanted to retire at 39, so that's why I need to have to go this year.
At 39, you didn't make it, did you, Jim?
I'm going to be 39 this year.
And I guess the only reason why I brought that up is because I think that, on the serious point, is that I think that you're very instrumental in this project, and it has your name written on it, and I think that would be a true
Well, this will be a great
celebration.
project. I said the county has committed almost $23 million to this project
Right.
out of our fund, and then there's been a lot of time spent on it, and we started out, making all the wrong decisions, against my objection, but anyway, we're back on the right track
Right.
now, but
Yeah.
I'll see when that groundbreaking can be. Maybe we can do it this year. I actually would like that, anyway.
Yeah.
The engineering work will be done sometime this summer, and that is like storm drain, roads, utilities, what we've hired the contractor to do, and then it includes the storm drains for the entire area, which is about, 1,100 acres, but the specific part of it is only going to be about 50 to 60 acres, where the first part of it is going to be. It's going to be in phases because it's such a huge project. But at least the storm drainage really has to be taken care of in the entire site. So as we get a little closer, I'll let you know how we're doing on that.
Well, I know when I try to make decisions, I always have to talk with Chris, and and get her input. And so I was just basically saying, maybe talk with your wife. And make sure
I will
it's okay.
talk to her. I'll
Thank you,
bring
Dee.
that up tonight.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Jim.
With that, we're going to move on to item 12, items from the city manager and staff.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the council. Just for Councilmember McDonald and Councilmember Graham, 2+2 will be on March 17th, 4 PM at City Hall. And then I'll let you, I'll just give you a reminder at your next meeting as well. We have some exciting news. Our wetlands project, we're having some environmentalists that are coming out this Friday, and Catherine and I are going to go out there and meet with them. As you know, we've already got $600,000 to put in 10 acres of wetlands. We're working on a larger piece that would be our biofilter for our stormwater cleanup system. That grant funding is not made available to the public yet, but the state is giving us money to do some of these studies that are leading us down there. In fact, they're even giving us money to engineer 30% plans for this project, so it's very exciting. Hopefully, when Prop 1A becomes available to us, we'll be able to secure that, but it's looking like the right people are on the job now, and they like our project. We've gotten it in front of them, and I think UC Merced is actually going to be talking about our project at one of their conferences pretty soon. They're excited about their piece on there as well, so it's really starting to get some legs, so hopefully this thing will be taking off soon. And then just lastly, you may have read about it in the newspaper this weekend, the document tax overpayment issue in the newspaper. I put a letter in front of you. That was a letter that we had sent the county. They're saying we owe them just over $10,000 for some overpayments for some document tax stuff. And so, as you can see, remember when they stole money from us from PTAF? So they only gave us 3 years back on that. So my offer was based upon the precedent set by property tax administration fee. Interesting thing was back when we did the PTAF, the property tax administration fee, the county made a conscious decision to do that, even though the cities, we told them that it was wrong, their methodology was wrong and how they were going to be calculating that, and they went ahead and did it anyways. And then it ultimately got settled in court, and the court sided with cities. And so they were supposed to pay us back, but instead of 5 years, which they had stolen from us, we only got 3 years back. But now that they made an accidental mistake, they only want to give us 3 years back. They want us to pay everything back, not just 3 years, so they're kind of doing it on both sides. But I just spoke for them because that's a lot of my city manager cohorts in the county weren't part of PTAF, so it's not stuck in their craw like it is for me, because it's still a very, very sore issue. Because we ended up losing about $24,000 on PTAF, and so. Anyways, I just put a copy of that letter in front of you. That was actually, we ran through that legal counsel's office before we drafted that off to them. So with that, I don't have any more comments, but I can answer any questions that you may have.
Michael, just a question on the wetlands. Do we have any type of schematic that we have a general plan as far as what we're going to do with the area?
And we're working on putting together a master plan for the whole area, and we have, Catherine, we have sketches for the entire wetland site yet? Or we just have sketches, correct? We don't have any?
Just have sketches.
Yeah, we don't have a formal plan, but that's one of the things the state has authorized us to go ahead and do, and I think it's going to be a joint funding between us and them. The state doing a master plan of how, because there's multiple projects. There's a UC Merced project. There's a trail system project. It's a community preservation park. There's 10 acres of wetlands, and then there's a biofilter, and how those all work together, we need to come up with a master plan on doing that, so that way, when we do our environmental impact report that goes along with it, it encompasses all of it. So we are working on that, and as soon as we get that, we'll make that available to you.
Thank you. With that, Ally, you have anything tonight for us? A lot of exciting things going on in Newman?
A lot. Good evening, council members, mayor. To start off with the recreation side of my position, we have homeschool, still currently 6 weeks left in homeschool. Any children that are interested in coming in and checking out our program, what we do, we still are offering it for free. This will be the last semester we do that, and the next semester we will implement a PE sport as well. So anybody interested in homeschool, please come to the Teen Center Wednesday mornings from 10 to 11 in the morning. Moving on to flag football, if you look in front of you, we all have flyers, Newman and Gustine. We are working together with the city of Gustine to promote our flag football program and work together to make one big program where they'll set up their flag football side on their portion, we'll set up our flag football on our side, and we will play against each other. Now some of our teams go over there and play at their high school field, some of their teams come over here and play in our high school field. We are working alongside the high school and the Westside Niners on our side to make this a successful program. It is open from the 7-year-olds all the way up to the 14-year-olds. Registrations do start here in March 2nd to March 31st for the city of Newman. Gustine has a different registration system where they do it online. We do it in live form at the Teen Center from 2:30 to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. We encourage anybody who wants to coach to come on out and let us know they're willing to coach as well. We also promote the fact that they are volunteering their hours, so we will honor that their child will pay for free for the season in recognition of them helping us as well and the community. There will be, like I stated, the Gustine League and our league working together at once. And then, let's see, I think I hit all the points on the flyer. The flyer that you have in front of you is the front page. The back page is actually the registration and our waiver and release liability on the back side. You can also find it online at our City of Newman webpage and in our social media area. You can find a link to it. We're trying to get out to the community as much as we can, to Hillmar, to Patterson, and our surrounding cities as well. Moving on forward, we, on the community liaison side, have the Art Walk coming up March 14th from 3 to 6 p.m. We have 14 registered businesses that will be participating, where students, children's families can walk on Saturday the 14th in our downtown area. Go to these businesses and learn about our historic value, all the pictures that we have behind us. They will have images of what it looked like in the 1800s or 1900s, and learn a little bit more of the value of our historic downtown. We are looking for volunteers. Anybody interested can contact me or downstairs at State Farm at the Chamber if they're willing to volunteer. We need a lot of volunteers for this event. We are also asking for pictures of a passport. For the passport, kids are encouraged to turn in images to us or the chamber downstairs, and which we are a part of, to promote and make a passport for each person that walks to each business. They stamp and they earn a raffle type of prize where they enter it in, and they will receive tickets from the Westside Theater, donated from them for one of their events. And then moving on forward, we are looking for vendors for our May Farmers Market. We have most of our vendors coming back from last year. I think we had 18 or 19 vendors, so we have most of those coming back, but we're still looking to make it bigger and better and add more crafters. In specific, we're looking for crafters and artisans who are willing to promote their work and their crafts out at our vendors. Now, we aren't promoting MLMs. It's more as a crafter instead of a multi-industry. And then our last point is social media outreach. I know some of you guys have seen that we are promoting as much as we can, not only social media for recreation, not only for flag football, but also for the city, for watering days, for conservation times, for code enforcement, and things of that nature. We are doing as much public outreach as we can. If you do happen to see it, please like it and continue to share it and exchange it with others in our community. And with that, I can answer any questions you guys may have.
My apologies, Ally. I was rubbing my paper against.
It's okay.
I'm sorry about
I thought it
that.
was Mikey because he was cracking up.
He was laughing at me. Sorry about that.
No worries.
You're doing a great job, thank you.
Yes,
Guys.
you sure are.
Outstanding job.
Thank
Really
you.
proud, yeah.
Thank you. And if you're interested in any information, I can always provide the paper documents for you guys.
Thank you so much, Alan.
Thank you,
Thanks,
guys.
Ally.
Thank you.
And with that, Police Chief Richardson?
Evening, Mayor, council members. Just real quickly, the National Council for Home and Safety and Security released their 2020 survey of the safest cities in California, and Newman ranked number 25. So we're pretty pleased with that ranking. Also, April 25th is our crab feed. So if you want tickets, buy them soon because it does sell out every year. So you can buy tickets at the police department, Madhouse newspaper, or Chevron. And with that, I can answer any questions you might have.
Okay. Thank you.
I didn't have anything for tonight, but if you have any questions on finance matters, I can answer them for you.
Everything must be good, Lou, thank you. Catherine, good evening.
Good evening. I don't have anything to report tonight either. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Our chief, you're going to have to save us. You got something worse.
Yeah, I was asked to give a little update on what's commonly known as coronavirus, also formerly known as COVID-19. So, World Health Organization has formally named the virus as SARS-CoV-2, and the disease is actually known as the COVID-19, which is the commonly called coronavirus. They have confirmed there is 80,238 cases in 34 counties, and they have 2,700 confirmed deaths as of today, the 25th.
Counties or countries?
Countries, I'm sorry, did I say?
You said counties. Whoa.
No, that'd be pretty scary, right?
Yeah.
I meant countries, I'm sorry. They do have a 14-day quarantine and screening process depending on where you're coming from into our country. The California Department of Public Health has confirmed that the virus was confirmed in one person in Humboldt County, one in LA County, one in Orange County, one in Sacramento County, two in San Benito County, and two in Santa Clara County. And that's the virus, that's not the disease. That's the SARS part, CoV-2. And then the CDC does show it as a low risk for us, and they recommend a flu vaccine every year. They've also had some non-pharmaceutical interventions you can take. It's things like stay home if you're sick, avoid close contact with someone that is sick, cover your cough or sneeze, wash your hands and clean surfaces regularly. I'll see if I can work with staff and maybe get a link posted to city's website for that information. I can answer any other questions you might have.
Yeah, it's getting a little scary. I know they're talking about it being a pandemic almost. We're just one step from being a pandemic.
Yeah, and I'll send you guys some more information via email.
Thank you for that update.
No problem.
Very good. Thank you.
I always get worked up over those, but more people die from the regular flu every year than I mean, it's
That's true.
something to be worrisome about, but more people die from the regular flu every year than that.
Yeah, yeah.
I got nothing. Vote Tuesday. There's a drop box here in our lobby, I believe.
Yeah.
If you need to drop off your ballot.
You right?
Just wanted to thank Chief Keith. That was a wonderful dinner that we had this past week. And of course, my wife invited me to go to the dinner, and I thought it was lovely.
Thank you. Yeah, that was sponsored by the Newman Firefighters Association. They wanted to recognize their spouses and other organizations that have really supported them throughout the year. So that was something the volunteers did, but thank you for attending.
Enjoyed that.
Thank you.
Nothing tonight.
Nothing tonight?
Nothing tonight?
No?
Okay, well, I'd just like to,
Jumping back real quick, if you don't mind. I'd like to thank you guys for coming and talking. I know it's a topic that's a little rough for everybody and for their own reasons, and thank you guys for coming out, at least talking and giving us your side.
I would just concur with that. I know it's hard sometimes to come out and get up at the podium and say something, but we certainly appreciate hearing from you. We have compassion, we understand, so You know, that we're not hard people, we just, you know, people that have a job to do, and we do the best we possibly can, but thank you so much. And with that, I'd like to ask for adjournment.
So moved.
Okay, motion, second, all in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned, thank you.
Thank you.